Mac Jones is officially a San Francisco 49er after signing a 2-year contract. And here's how this affects Brock Purdy. We got reports this week that there was, quote, nothing imminent with the 49ers and Brock in terms of a new deal, right? Well, this is how the negotiations can now go. The 49ers can call Brock Purdy's side and say, hey, this is the number we're going to offer you. It's a huge raise over what you were supposed to get in 2025. If you don't want to take it and you want to hold out, fine. That's your right. But we've got somebody that we think can do exactly what you can do. So if you don't want to take the number, okay, that sucks. We're sorry we couldn't work it out, but we're not giving you any more money. We have Mac Jones here. And I know a lot of you laugh that off because you say that Brock Purdy is way better than Mac Jones. I'm not sure the 49ers see it that way. Remember, they traded 3 first-round picks in 2021 and almost took Mac Jones with that pick. It was this close to him and Trey Lance, and a lot of people think Lance was sort of a last-minute decision by the 49ers. They love Mac Jones, and they still love Mac Jones since then because Tom Pelissero reported that they actually made a trade offer to the Patriots last year before ultimately New England sent Mac to Jacksonville. So clearly the 49ers still like him very, very much. And really, why wouldn't they, right? He is a fit in this 49ers offense. He is a drop back, go through the reads, deliver the ball on target and on time type of quarterback. It's exactly the kind of guy that Kyle Shanahan loves. In fact, he's so much a match for Kyle Shanahan that he actually said after a pro day workout, quote, I'm going to do exactly what the coach tells me to do. I'm going to play within the framework of the offense. Mac Jones actually said that. That is a Kyle Shanahan wet dream when it comes to quarterbacks, all right? He is a fit. Clearly, he would work in the Shanahan system. That's not nothing. Kyle knows that. The 49ers know that. And more importantly, too, I think Brock knows that, too. And remember, Brock came screaming back from that elbow injury last year, right? When Sam Darnold was there, or 2 years ago, I should say, when Sam Darnold was there, and it was like, hey, Sam Darnold is here. Is Brock going to come back? He came back so early from that elbow injury. Brock even later admitted he wasn't actually right until Thanksgiving of that year. But Brock didn't want Sam Darnold to go and take his job. And I can't help but wonder if Brock starts to get a little nervous now and says to his agent, you know what? Don't try and squeeze every dollar you can out of the 49ers. They just signed somebody. I'm not losing my job because I don't care how confident Brock is. He's still the last pick in the draft. That sticks with you. Those guys do not get shots. And Brock's had multiple shots, and he's been too injured to finish 2 out of his 3 seasons as a starter. So in the back of his mind, he's probably still got a little bit of that insecurity like, hey, I can't let this slip away. I can't give anybody else the opportunity to come and take this job because let's face it, he was lucky to get a shot, right? It took Trey Lance getting hurt. It took Jimmy Garoppolo getting hurt in order for Brock Purdy to get a shot at the Niners starting job. He was lucky. Now, he took advantage of it to his credit, but he knows that guys that get drafted where he gets drafted do not get opportunities, let alone multiple opportunities. And I can't help but wonder if maybe he says, you know what? We got to get this done. Maybe I'm willing to give up a couple $1 million. And maybe that's the difference between a long freaking holdout and getting a contract done and having this wrapped up and getting some of the drama behind him. Because I think that would be a huge plus for the 49ers. They got enough problems right now dealing with everything. They don't need a long, protracted quarterback holdout, even though, look, we know the Niners are tough negotiators, right? This is what they do. They did it to Kittle. They did it to Debo. They did it to Ayuk. They did it to Trent. They did it to Bosa. This is what they do. If things get ugly with the Niners, they literally told Debo Samuel, we don't think you're going to age well. We don't think you're going to be good in a couple years. That's why we don't want to give you more money. They said that to him. You think they're not going to say to Brock Purdy, hey, Mac Jones can do everything you can do. We're not worried about it. They absolutely will. And it'll be interesting to see how Brock Purdy's side reacts. Do we get the progress is being made on a Brock Purdy contract reports now this week? I wouldn't be surprised if we did. I would not be surprised if we did. Now, the last question. Is this a smart move by Kyle Shanahan? Well, like I said, in a vacuum, it makes sense. This is a high floor move, right? This isn't Brandon Allen coming in at backup quarterback. This is Mac Jones, a guy that was taken in the first round, clearly has some physical talent throwing the football. He throws an excellent deep ball. I have to give him credit for that. This is not, a scrub at backup quarterback. You want somebody that has a high floor. I get that by Kyle Shanahan. I really do. It's just, I've seen the 49ers go into a season with no backup quarterbacks, right? Josh Dobbs and Brandon Allen, they were no threat to Brock Purdy in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Mac Jones is not that. So does Kyle like the sort of tension that might form? Maybe. It's not necessarily bad. It could be a motivating factor. We know Brock sort of has a chip on his shoulder. Maybe this motivates Brock a little bit more. It might not be a bad move for Kyle Shanahan. It may blow up in his face, quite frankly. But I'm just saying the Mac Jones signing definitely affects Brock Purdy. And if you don't, I think you're being naive. And if you don't think that the 49ers are going to use it against Brock Purdy in the negotiations, you don't understand how the 49ers have operated over the past half decade. It is clear. And if things really get ugly, if they really get ugly, I don't put it past the 49ers to trade Brock Purdy and go into the season with Mac Jones as their starter. I really don't. Now, I think that would be, not the scenario that's most likely to happen, but you absolutely cannot rule it out with this football team. You can't do it. I mean, has anything at this point, could you be surprised by anything the 49ers do? Anything at all? I mean, if you would, I think you're not really looking at some of the craziness that has gone on. I mean, they traded 3 firsts for Trey Lance, and then they didn't start him as a rookie year, and then they kept Jimmy Garoppolo when Lance was supposed to start. Like, this team is not afraid of a quarterback controversy, for sure. So this is just the first step. We'll see how the dominoes fall, but it could be a very interesting offseason in San Francisco.